Hello, Valora Beings. How are you doing today? So, today I want to ask you a question. Do you carry a weight that you can't quite name it? You can feel it in your chest and your shoulders. It is not grief, okay? Grief you can name. It is not a diagnosis. Diagnosis has a name. Not anything dramatic, just a quiet, steady heaviness. The kind you have gotten used to. And you may have started calling it normal. In my case, I do. I do carry it every single day. And for a long time, I called it being fine. I'm fine. Today, I want to talk about something that doesn't get a lot of airtime. Not because it is rare, but because it is quiet. Unprocessed experiences, not trauma with a capital T, not the kind of thing that makes for a dramatic story. Just the things that happen to you that we never really sat with. We moved on, we had to. And somewhere along the way, moving on became the only way we knew how to cope. I've been that person for most of my life. Something hard would happen, a mistake, a conflict, a moment that stung, and I would just keep going. Don't look back, don't dwell, move. And here is the thing that I've only recently understood. All of those moments I didn't sit with, they didn't go anywhere. They just got quieter and they stacked. Can I tell you something a little embarrassing? When I try to think about my life experiences, even the neutral ones, my brain almost always goes straight to the painful ones. The mistakes, the moments I wish I could redo. And then it does this thing where it replays them over and over with commentary. Why did you say that? Why did you do that? You could have done it so differently. I used to think this was just me being hard on myself, a personality flaw, a cringe spiral I call it, because I always cringe when I think about it. But what I've come to understand is this. This constant replaying, this picking apart of old moments is exhausting in a way that goes beyond. It is draining. It is draining me dry. And I don't think I'm the only one. You probably heard the phrase, the body keeps the score. There is a lot of conversation right now. People like Dr. Gabor Mate talking about early emotional experiences and how they shape us as adults. And I've recently come across with an article that says the body doesn't keep score. So there are a lot of different opinions, different frameworks. Okay. But here is what feels true to me from the inside. I spent decades not acknowledging that I had a hard life. I was emotionally neglected, and in response to that, I neglected myself. because that was the only form of self preservation I knew. I get that now. And honestly, that understanding makes me really sad because I can see how lonely I was, how lonely I still am sometimes. In that moments I can't quite make sense of. And this is where it gets a bit hilarious in that dark self-aware kind of way. I am someone who, when I feel sad, immediately gets angry. The sadness starts to rise, and somewhere inside me, a shield goes up. No, we don't do this. No one is going to see you cry. Crying is weakness. You're not weak. So I push it down. Get sharp instead of soft. Go hard on myself. Redirect. And I did that for almost my entire life. Imagine every day, every sad moment, every hurt feeling pushed down and stacked and filed away under I'm fine. I didn't even know that's what I was doing until a couple of years ago. The awareness alone felt like something shifting. So, what do I do with this now that I know? Honestly, nothing fancy. I want to be upfront about that. I am not here to give you a five-step process. I don't have a ritual. I am not releasing stored trauma through breath work at 5 a.m. If you are genuinely, go you. I mean that. You are way ahead of me. But me, right now, I am just sitting with it. I write my unfiltered thoughts whenever I get the chance. Sometimes it's a few sentences. Sometimes it goes sideways and I don't understand what I even wrote. But I come back to it. I reflect. And what I am slowly practicing is acknowledging my emotions when they show up instead of immediately armoring over them. Because here is what I've come to believe. Compassion for me start with myself. If I don't know how to handle my own emotions, I don't know how to actually be present for someone else. It's that simple. Self knowledge is not self indulgence, it is the foundation. I've been thinking a lot lately about the word rhythm because we are all given so much information right now about healing, about emotional processing, about what we should do, and some of it is genuinely useful. But a lot of it can make you feel like you're doing it wrong if you're not journaling at dawn or meditating or tapping or whatever the current thing is. And what I want to say is we are each uniquely ourselves, uniquely wired. The path someone else took to understand themselves may not be your path, my path. Take the knowledge from wherever it resonates. But when it comes to actually doing the work, come back to yourself. Trust yourself. Because that's the thing. There is a part of us, a quiet part. We rarely get to hear it that actually knows what it needs. It knows. But I but what I understand is this. It only speaks when there is stillness. And stillness takes time. It takes patience. It takes choosing again and again to stay with yourself instead of running from yourself. I want to end on something a little lighter because this is also true. I have found my happy place. Slow living content on Instagram. Gardens, candles, flowers, beautiful interiors with morning light, art, and I'm going to say it proudly, dark romance books. Dragons, fairies, vampires, magic, all of it. I love it. And the reason I mention this is I didn't always know what I liked. I spent so long either not having time for preferences or dismissing my preferences as embarrassing. Even my taste felt cringeworthy to me. Slowly, very slowly, I am giving myself permission to just like things, to let the things I love fill me up instead of draining me. That's part of it too. That is part of acknowledging yourself. So, if you're carrying that quiet weight today, you don't have to fix it right now. You don't have to figure it out. Maybe just notice it. Be a little curious about it. Give it a moment of your time. The same way it's been giving you its weight. That is a start. That was my start. We need time. We need stillness. We need to believe that the part of us we haven't met yet is worth meeting. I will see you in the next one. Courageous one. Make it a good one. Bye.